Hello, I'm Jashykins, and welcome to the last video I'll be doing about Fringe. That is, if I don't, in the future, do a review series about Fringe as a whole. And, of course, I say video because at most week, hopefully, if everything goes okay, I'll have my written review of Season 5 on my blog. But hello, I'm jashykins, and here is my review of the Fringe episode, An Enemy of Fate. Now, the whole plan is that they're going to send the boy into the future, and then they're going to, long story short, stop the observers from ever existing. However, at the end of the last episode, September realizes, hey, this machine that has been planned for all season doesn't fucking work. So he's like, okay, I'm going to go to December. And he goes in and they have a discussion where September asks for the part, and we find out something very interesting. The team that is sent back, that is named after all the months, wasn't told that all their observational skills was so that the observers could then make an invasion. So they were clueless to this part. They're like, okay, I'm just going to observe shit. Okay. So I like that the ones we first knew, loved, and maybe hated weren't the bad guys. They were just being used. And also, we find out that December owes September something. And of course, there's a very obvious question of what does December owe September? You got me. It could be December owes September because September got to be turned into a human. And I love that as always, I skip around, but I love, especially at the end, that the whole events of Fringe basically started because Walter wanted, a new Peter, so he stole the Peter from the other verse, the red verse, and got him. Okay, he was trying to just heal the other Peter, but then he couldn't get rid of him, so those were very selfish actions. And in this one, he takes the boy to the future and ends up saving the world instead of destroying it. So the same action, basically the same action that caused him to start to deteriorate a universe made it possible for him to save a universe, which I thought was very good. And even the clothing and the way they hold hands, both young Peter and the boy, look very much alike. It's almost like a callback. It is a callback, showing that things have come full circle, and I love that. I also love that Olivia got to use her Cortexiphan powers one more time. And she did something very useful. All this season, we have fucking hated Windmark. He's like in this big bad guy, and how the hell is he going to die? She kills him! She smashes him between two cars. It's like, yes! Yes, this is what I've been looking forward to all fucking season, and it happens. Of course, I am especially fond of the Olivia using her Cortexiphan powers and how she starts to drain the power from the city. you know, that's calling back to, you know, when she first learned how to use her powers from David Robert Jones. But that isn't the only callback. The part when Olivia and Peter are going to rescue Royals since he's been captured, they release some biohazard thing, and guess what? It starts to afflict, you know, the observers and loyalists there with old Fringe cases. There's, you know, the butterflies that cut into your skin, but they're not really real. They're just, you imagine they're real, and so your body makes up the cuts. And then the head explode. Of course, you don't see it explode. You just get to see this observer corpse with its head gone, some probably gray matter there. That was fucking awesome. I love just that hallway. Yes. And of course, I think it's safe to say our old Walter's back, because he makes these bullets, and he just says that, you know, when you kill an observer, they'll float up. And Peter's like, what's the use in that? He's like, and Walter's like, oh, it's cool. And then later, during the final battle, you get to, Walter has Peter look up, and there's an observer floating, and he's like, see, it is cool. It was great seeing Walter like that again. You know, crazy. Why do it? It's cool. So there was that lovely thing. Lovely. And in the episode, actually I'm going to look at the glyphs before I forget, because I will fucking forget, I'll tell you that. The glyphs spell out close, because, you know, it's the end of the season, it's the end of the series, unless they decide to make some novels and comics that continue the series, which I will have to get, because I'm not obsessed with fan or anything. No. So yeah, but back to what happens in this episode. September talks to Walter, saying that, you know, before I fully had emotions, I just decided you should go with him. Because it seems like, while September did have emotions, they weren't really love emotions. So he felt comfortable sending his own son there. But then it turns out that, you know, when September made this decision, on one hand I was like, yes, Walter is still going to be here, but then, like, why did they make me feel these emotions if everything's going to turn out right, and then, damn it! So I was sort of sad about that, but then September gets shot, so Walter has no other choice but to take the child. It's like sad, and I have that little picture as my background on my Twitter, and so whenever I view Twitter, which is a lot, I just get teary-eyed, because it's like one of the most moving moments for me in the show, mainly because things came full circle. And now, because I do want to thank a few people at the end of this video, I'll just wrap this up by saying the epilogue. It was nice. It also came full circle. What happened at the beginning of the season happened at the end of the season. And that was lovely to see. It was very happy. And don't get me wrong, I like seeing that Olivia, Peter are alive as well as Ed is alive, and they're all a happy family. So I'm very happy for that. I wanted to see how some of the other characters were living. You know, especially Astrid. What's Astrid doing now? I want to maybe see another shot of Nina just because I know she's alive, but I want to see her again. And, you know, where's Royals? Yeah, but it seems like they left it to the epilogue to happen at the very last moment. So, you know, they had only a little bit to go on. I just wish the episode was a little longer so they could have their epic battle and shit and still have the longer epilogue. The epilogue's really my only complaint. And of course, I can't help but mention there is Jean in this episode. Those of you who have forgotten or for some reason you're watching this video without ever viewing a Fringe episode, why the fuck would you do that? Jean is the cow, and she's an Amber, but she's there. And as a few thanks in my remaining time on this video, I want to thank Rev Resner, my fiance, and the person who brought me into Fringe, that we basically watched an episode together and I had to catch up on the series. Thanks for that. I want to thank everyone at the Fringe podcast because you may, while I might not have gotten every single episode, and the majority of the time, which is like 99.9%, I wasn't able to go on the live chats on when the show's aired because I DVR'd most of the episodes. You were great and you helped me keep up with the series and pointing out things I didn't realize, and it was just great keeping up with you. And those are really the two main ones, and since it's close to 15 minutes now, I'm getting really rushed. But I just want to say those are the two main peoples I want to thank. And yeah, thank you J.J. Abrams for starting this amazing series, and I won't soon forget this. And I have been Jashykins, owner at jashykins.blogspot.com. If you want to talk to me about your feelings of Fringe ending and we can cry together, you can contact me on facebook.com/jashykins fan page or on Twitter at jashykins. If you're watching this on YouTube, subscribe, like, comment, blah, 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 blah. And if you're doing this on my blog, thank you just for watching. And, you know, comment below and share amongst your friends. And I love Fringe. Seriously, this is very sad for me. It was my favorite show that was showing new episodes, because truthfully my favorite show ever so far is Terminator Sarah Connor Chronicles, where I actually really started watching TV. But Fringe was like my replacement for Terminator. And now there are a lot of good shows I watch, but none of them are of the quality of Fringe. So, in the future, I'm probably going to find my new greatest show ever, not greatest show ever, but replacement of, but that probably won't be for a while. So, I love you all. And until next video, goodbye.